Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here, and I'm bringing you Blade Idol with new equipment, Talisman Explained. So if you're Blade Idol player or perhaps Idol gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then smash this like button as well. Okay then guys, obviously new update is now up and running, and we've got finally this new equipment called Talisman. So I do hope you have managed to save quite a lot of diamonds, as mentioned about it already in a previous video when we looked at preview of this very update. I have managed to save up around 10 million mark of diamonds and spent everything summoning this very item. So I do hope you have managed to obviously take advantage of it as well. And because I already mentioned summon, obviously this is the way to get your talisman. So if we tap onto summon itself, scroll all the way down, because this is a new equipment, you'll be able to spend diamonds, red diamonds or summon tickets. And as you see, squeeze it all the way to level 14 with this 10 million mark. And now we're heading over into inventory, obviously, to discuss it in a greater details. And because it is equipment itself, it's actually not landed in this subcategory here. It's just obviously based next to the figure on a main bar. So obviously let's review it now where we are. So Talisman, and obviously the first initial reaction will be some similarities related to accessories when it comes to these three initial tabs. So it is some form a relation to this accessories system itself, but this actually is pretty unique, and you will see that in just a second. So we got 3 tabs, and similar to accessories, Love will give you a strongest talismans to attack, Hope will give you the strongest one related to HP, and Fortune will give you defense. But bear in mind, this is a very flexible where you will be able to go with either a defensive or offensive build, as the differences in between are very small. So it's actually a great way to have this a late stage builds, and this is what you need for the end game anyway. You won't be able to go full glass cannon, you need this flexibility between being defensive and offensive, and obviously you can build a hybrid as well. Alright then, so we discuss a 3 categories. So as you see, obviously we're gonna have a normal tiers when it comes to magic, obviously rare, epic, and so on, and we're gonna end up with heavens, and this is associated now with everything we do. So obviously it's a part of new equipment strategy. So considering you got obviously 3 tabs, you will be upgrading it across every single tab. And what you're gonna do with talismans, effectively, you'll be always able to wear or gear or equip 3 at once. But in order to do it and actually help you to get even more benefits, you're gonna tap on this special party effect. So if I tap on it now, actually rather than go and select the best one, you will be also given chance to get this additional bonus. And in order to get this bonus, all you need to do is just select one of these ready sets, so either dominate, balance, restrained, etc. And once you tap on equip, it will equip these 3 talismans for you automatically. And obviously this is a no-brainer, because when I mention later on when it comes to this selection of offensive and defensive, if I want to go a full offensive with Love, potentially with a heavens ones, I will just tap on equip with this very set of balance 4, and that will give me a massive bonus of 1500% to attack. But if I want to then boost a HP, I don't need to look which talismans I need to gear, I will just go equip these ones, and that will flick into additional perks associated with defense. So this is a very important and very strong when it comes to this very effect. And as I mentioned earlier, the differences between attack and defense are quite small, and actually the one thing which definitely stands out, that you can have a massive attack bonus with all 3 of these tabs. So Love, as mentioned earlier, will be your predominantly tab to get as much attack as possible, and as you see mentioned earlier, 1500% in here. But actually if I tap on Hope and I select attack itself, I can also squeeze 1500, and it's exactly same with Fortune. But now when it comes to these main stats I mentioned earlier, so attack is actually across the board very strong, but when it comes to defense, obviously this will be your first set when it comes to talismans, and then you got a stronger set, so this one will give you 600 straight into 750. But then if we compare that with a Love, and when it comes to defense itself, we only got 1 set, and that's only 600 we can get. Very similar here with HP, 600, but if we tap on a Hope itself, we can get all the way to 750. So again, as mentioned, a lot of flexibility, and obviously you've got a chance of having these additional tabs obviously numbers when it comes to these different builds. So as I normally have, my number 3 is a defensive build, so I potentially will build something around defense when I switch into my build 3, and on number 1 I might go a full attack. And this is obviously great, as mentioned earlier on, if you want to get to a certain stage and then grind as efficiently as possible. The more attack you've got, obviously the higher chance of clearing this stage within sort of 10-11 seconds, and this is obviously a great spot to be in. Okay, so we discussed now obviously when it comes to these special party effects, and now the one more thing that you want to be actually taken from this, it's a certain set to choose from. So as you see, I'm actually running here on a legendary set because that gives me a 93% on this 6-star bonus, rather than actually going for a higher tier, which is a mythic, but only 73%, and the reason for it because this is obviously now only bonus with 2 stars. So I would always recommend to go for any lower tier bonuses where you can have all 6 stars. And also another advantage with 6 stars related, that if I tap, let's say, on this very first mythical one and tap on upgrade, obviously at the moment I have managed to squeeze it all the way to 3 stars, but I can only have 2 options in here. Whereas actually having everything on 6 stars allows you to have obviously 3 options active at all times. So you actually having double bonus here because you're gonna take more likely more advantage from the special party effect itself, plus you're running here on 9 options. So whilst we actually on options itself, so currently where I am, and this is a legendary one, and I think you should get here with no problem. If you are with epic as well, no problem. Obviously we're gonna tap into option itself, and I would definitely recommend that you will go with a super option. So super option should be your choice from epic all the way to legendary, and this is where I have actually gone. This is not the one I'm actually gearing, so therefore I have not selected options yet. But if I tap on it, this is obviously where I got all the option attacks selected. Same story in here and same in here, and I managed to get some good ones. And I have actually not gone all the way to try to get it all on a god tier itself, because I know it's just matter of time, and potentially in a few days time I will be wearing these mythic ones. So I have only went with mythical grades as of now, because actually when you start upgrading mythics, this is where the strategy is changing. So if we tap on to upgrade an option itself, if it goes to mythic, god or heavens, I actually want you to go for a hyper option attack. This is one of the new attacks that you should have already around obviously only a benchmark of a minimum 100%. Therefore you want to upgrade this option as much as you can. Super option attack is already involved in a few different items, therefore you can park that up unless, as just mentioned earlier, you only on a legendary tier. Mythic plus you want to go hyper option. Same principle then when it comes to hope. I have currently gone with a super option attack because this is the best in slot for me all the way to legendary, but actually when it comes to mythic plus, again you will be selecting here option HP. And finally when it comes to fortune, same principle here, we go in upgrade option attack and you want to go for option defense. Bear in mind all the 3 stats from mythic plus as mentioned will be more likely around only that 100% base mark. Therefore the moment you land this mythic on a 6 stars and then you progress into god, go and select this option defense. And I believe 6 stars mythic, it will take you a little bit longer to get to a god ones, therefore you can start investing obviously your resource and get these god options to enhance it as much as you can. Also, whilst we currently on this very upgrading stage, the next thing you want to take advantage of is this total talisman level. So I have managed to invest quite heavily into a love itself because this is the main offensive one. So I have managed to upgrade it to a 6 stars and then obviously transcend it to the 6 stars, and this is where you're gonna have this total talisman transcend level. And as you see, this will then increase a stats of equipped talisman in this very category. And then one more thing towards end of this video is that everything all the way up to legendary, as you have just seen me here, I have not selected any options because I'm actually not gearing this very set. If I would definitely go for these options. But the things are actually changing from Mythic Plus, and the reason for it, again, you're gonna tap on upgrade option itself. The moment you're gonna unlock all the options on the 6 stars, you want to actually roll all the mythical options in here, as there is a own effect applying. So obviously, despite if you're using or not anything Mythic Plus, you want to roll these options. And obviously if you don't use it, just roll any of the 3 mythical options, and then as you see, you get in yourself these nice little parents. So that will be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.